Welcome. This is Tio from Whatwouldteosay. It is episode 2. Thank you for showing up and supporting the channel, supporting everything that I do. It's greatly appreciated. Today's episode is leaving your legacy. As photographers, any artist, anything that you do, one of the inevitables is going to happen, and that is when we leave this earth. And I always think about my work. I don't know if it was a show or documentary, but it was something along the lines of just photographers and the work that they leave behind, and what happens to that work. Some have the opportunity to have their legacy continue on, by having major institutions archive their work. And then you have the little guys like us that don't have that opportunity, and that's not going to happen. You hope that your family preserve your work. And sometimes it just doesn't happen that way. Um, so, I think about those things, and the one thought that came to my mind was, how do I want to leave my legacy, with the understanding that, there's a possibility majority of my work, it has a potential to be lost or things of that nature. And I don't hold my family responsible for it. And this is not a morbid conversation. I don't want you to think this is a morbid conversation. It certainly isn't. But it's definitely something to think about, which leads me into my next point. And that point is, leaving your legacy, is important in a sense that it should impact your family, especially if you have kids. So I decided, and I had done it, but I decided as well, was to use books as my form of leaving my legacy. Books, in my humble opinion, is the one social item in mankind that outlasts us. There are books. People continue to buy books, even though they're ebooks. But books are still relevant, and people still purchase them. They hold on to them. They pass it on. They gift it to people. The life of a book is so expansive. There's so much going on. So, I that was one of the things. I that's how I decided I wanted to leave my legacy. Making great conceptual work. Making work that speaks for the time that we're in. It speaks volumes. It's definitely storytelling in it. And I also feel that way about prints. Making sure you're printing your work. You know, Photos are another thing that sticks around as well. And I did an episode last season talking about prints, the importance of printing your work. I'll link it up in the video and also on the description as well if you want to tag back into it. And I think whether no matter what your art is, you always want to find a way to solidify, put it in a box, the product so it can be properly preserved. It can be passed on to whoever it needs to be passed on to. And and that's how you should go about it. And I challenge every photographer or media artist is to start thinking about that. You know, what do you want your work? How do you want your work to be handled? And what is your legacy? What do you want to leave behind? What are you chasing? Last episode was about setting up your photography goals. Your photography goals should be matching this question, this statement, leaving your legacy behind. What will you do to achieve that? It goes hand in hand. And with that being said, I got a little shameless promotion that I'm doing. I decided that I was gonna, voila, hold on, let me see if we get this in focus. Do my second book. There we go, perfect. Let me see, get a little closer. Good. This is homage to my home, and I the main premise behind this book is just, I this I you know even though I've taken photos a long time, and I've done spurts and different things, but when I got to the level of professionalism, I never took photos at home per se. So I decided, I was gonna go down, and I spent the day literally re traveling the old stomping grounds of mine and just taking photos. So this is basically a day in my life in the Bronx and other boroughs as well. I believe I have pictures, of Manhattan in here. And, and this is my legacy. I wanted to make sure that it was done correctly, and I wanted to be able to hold something and say that I'm proud of. I'm proud of this, and the work is not done per se. It's definitely not done. I have many more different ideas and concepts that I want to experiment with. If anything, I want to be um, more tactical about the books and the prints that I release and have for purchase for the public. I want people to I want that magical statement that every artist is saying. You know what? That's a TO piece right there. That guy's work. That's my aim. My aim is to leave my legacy. My goal is to make sure that my name is remembered. I'm gonna do the best that I can to make that happen. And I don't mind. I don't mind not trying to put in the hard work. All you can do is try, make the best of it. So I want you to start thinking about that. What is your legacy? How are you going to leave your legacy? What are you going to leave behind for people to remember you by? Because time, just it continuously goes and goes and goes, and it don't stop for anyone. It don't wait for anyone. So that's something. I think that would be it. I think I'm make it real simple and short. Check out Homage to My Home. Um, I'll put all the links and everything in the description. You could go into my website and purchase the book, www.tsphotography.com. You can also, it should be on Amazon. You'll be able to find my first and second book on Amazon. This is my second book, so I'll make sure that's there. Um, we're gonna just go and rock from there. Hopefully, support the kid, show some love, and I hope this book will be added on to your collection. Um, with that being said, subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. If you haven't seen the other platforms, as far as my social media, definitely apply for it. Podcast, subscribe to that as well. Thank you. I'm humbly honored. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.